Joining me now is Art Laffer, the great Art Laffer, of course, former Reagan economist. And got a little dark on your side of the screen, Art, but we're going to continue because at least, now it is lightening up a bit.
I'm back.
You're back. The great Art Laffer is back. Corporate welfare, Art Laffer, is something that you and I have fought against for as long as we've been alive, or at least known about what an economy is. The $280 billion CHIPS Act was a part of that. Intel got a chunk of that, a big chunk, $7 or $8 billion, if not more. And it didn't help them at all, first of all. It was the whole CHIPS Act, I would argue, is a waste of money. Isn't what the president is suggesting, where the U.S. government take a stake in a company that was going down and the CHIPS Act didn't help it at all, isn't that going against the goal here of getting the government out of business?
In general, you're totally right. In fact, the CHIPS Act was a mistake. It was a big mistake, and Intel is no success story. Believe me when I tell you that their role in Ohio is exceptionally bad. They're outside of Columbus, and, I just don't understand all that. But, if anyone is going to take a stake in a company, if the company's got a strategic interest here in the U.S., I would like it to be the government under Donald Trump. Now, if it were Joe Biden or for Barack Obama, no chance. But I think that Donald Trump really does understand business, does understand how to reconstruct. And if the U.S. does do that, I think it's a lot better buying some shares in that than it would be subsidizing their production.
Yeah, the problem, though, and you hinted at it in what you just said, is that President Trump is not going to be president forever. And chances are that sometime...
What?
Sometime, yeah, I know. It's hard to bring yourself to understand that or believe it. But if there is another Democrat president in our lifetimes, I guarantee one thing they're going to do with that stake is grow it. And one thing they're going to do with the management of the company is interfere with it. Interfere in ways that are probably going to make it make a bailout of that business necessary in the future. That's the big danger. Maybe you have a good administrator at one point, but you can't guarantee that for the future.
Of course, you're completely correct. That is the threat. That is the damage. Free markets operate under a profit and loss system. Is allowing companies to fail is just as important as to propping them up and having them succeed when they, in fact, shouldn't succeed. And Intel has not been a stellar example of a greatly run company, one that is doing superly well. It is not doing that. It's got other problems as well. And I don't really understand the full logic of the president's acquiring a stake in that company. But if there's a way of turning that company around and then getting the government out, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Yeah. And Donald Trump is someone who would be able to see that very clearly. Now, how important Intel's production is for the U.S. economy, also, I'm not really sure of. So I really can't answer the Intel, but I can tell you their record in the past has been bad. They have been downgoing for a long time. Their role in Ohio, their subsidies from the CHIPS Act, it was just wasted money, thrown away money, and I totally agree with you. The government should not be involved in general. Maybe President Trump has more information. Obviously, he has a lot more information than I do.
All right.
But what are you telling me he's not going to be in there forever?
I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. You're going to live forever, but it might not happen with everybody else.
That's true.
Art, before you go, I would be remiss because I don't think I've heard you talk about the Powell blink on Friday. What do you make of what he said in Jackson Hole, quickly?
Well, I think Powell is feeling the pressure. Powell should have resigned long ago. He's a fine guy. He needs to retire. He shouldn't be there, and he's under pressure. He's got people on his board now who are openly disagreeing with him, which just doesn't happen at the Federal Reserve Board level. It just doesn't. And, Powell's doing that, and he should have backed off a long time ago. He doesn't have the capability of being a good Fed chairman. He really doesn't. In spite of being a nice guy, he just doesn't understand the economics. And his board has not done a great job on that. And we need to get that transition right away into, I think it should be Kevin Warsh should be in there, but any of the others, Kevin Hassett would be great, Scott Bessent would be great, any of these guys would be terrific to run it, and we just need Powell out of the way to get correct monetary policy.
But he's not going to be out of the way until May.
We need it now. We need it fast.
Well, but I don't think he's going to resign, and I think he was trying to calm the waters before he was fired.
But why doesn't he resign? He's going to leave anyway in a few more months. Yeah. Why would you want to go through this brutal process here?
I hate to tell you, Art, I can't get inside his head. I can't get inside
I know, it's
his
just,
head.
but at the end of your life, I'm old, and I understand. And you learn when you get a little bit older,
you're
you know when
supposed
to
to.
play them and when
Yeah.
not to play them, and this is one not to play.
I agree. Art
Ah,
Laffer.
well, you just can't let him go. But
Well, I hope you
Thank you,
play
David.
till the day you die, my friend, and I hope
Oh,
that
I'm-
day doesn't come for decades and decades.
52 more years I've got.
Good.
52, guaranteed.
Good. All right. I'll take
Thank
that
you, David.
guarantee. Thanks, Art Laffer. Appreciate it. Coming up.